What's going on, YouTube? This is Instant Poison, and I am just ecstatic. I'm just overjoyed to finally be putting up this video to my channel. This is the first ever nuke without kill streaks that I have put up, and it's actually the second one that I got, but I don't even want to talk about that. I basically forgot to record the first one, and it was very upsetting to me. So this is the second one I got. It was the game right after the first one. And going into this challenge, I guess you could say, as I wasn't the one who first decided to do this, my good commentary friend Znarf was actually the one who decided, and I took it upon myself to try to beat him to getting the first one. However, I did end up losing, and he got it earlier in the day than I did, which was unfortunate. However, going into this, I didn't quite think it would be as difficult as it ended up being. You know, I watch machinima videos. I've seen nukes without kill streaks before. I know Mr. Phantasmo. He has multiple nukes without kill streaks just on his own. So I know this is something that is possible if you play smart, if you play tactically, and you are good at getting lots of kills. I like to think of myself as a smart slayer, I guess you could call it. So I thought this would be easier. However, it took me almost 4 days of game time. I played last weekend. It was a long weekend. I really thought that guy should have died on the first couple of shots there. But I was playing on the long weekend. I had 4 days off, and I played pretty consistently, I would say, over the 4 days. And I didn't get it until it was one of my last games on the last night of the weekend. So it did take longer than I expected, and it was a lot harder, a lot more aggravating. As far as getting a nuke without kill streak goes, some of the biggest tips I can get if you were going to attempt this is you got to remain calm. You got to be patient with it. This is something that, as much as I would have liked it to have happened right away, it's not going to. It's going to take time. You're going to have to adapt your playstyle, and something that you have to remember is you're going to need the right people. A lot of people are they're going to be noob tubing. They're going to have UAVs, counter UAVs, or they're just going to be better players. Not to say that these guys are bad. However, they don't play smart, and they don't really have a very large memory. They don't really rush me. I don't even really think I get shot this entire game. But you're going to need to find the right lobby, the right group of people, and you're going to get angry. It's just a fact. It's going to take you time. You're going to get noob tubed, knifed. You're going to get killed. I don't know how many kill streaks I had in the 20s where I just lost it, just because either I died in a cheap kind of noob tubing RPG format, or I did something stupid. I did a very amateur style move, and I was not thinking smart. Me and my friend, we decided basically that the biggest tip to doing this is just to imagine if you had yourself standing over your shoulder watching you play this game, and you just got to ask yourself, talk to yourself, and say, is this a good idea? Is what I'm about to do going to get me killed? Because if it is, then just don't do it. Do not run into the open. Do not chase a guy. Do not stand there staring for more than 3 seconds at one area. And forgive and forget. You have to remember that if you start to shoot at somebody and they make it away, or you see somebody and you really want that kill, you have to remember that it's more important to not die than it is to get that kill in general, because even if you get the kill, it's not worth it if you're going to get yourself in a bad spot. So right at this point in the game, it's starting to pick up a little bit more. I've put myself in kind of a crappy spot, in kind of a high traffic area, and since I'm not using a silencer, people are very aware of where I am and they're coming to me. A lot of the times what I noticed is when you get into these situations, you kind of get stuck. You don't know if you should leave, because it's probably not a good idea to stay here because people are just going to keep flooding in. But at the same time, most of the times when you run away, like what I'm doing right there, I find you get shot in the back or you get snuck up on really easily. So you really have to be patient, plan out your escape, and you have to move slowly. Like what I'm doing here, I do not want to get snuck up on as people are coming back. Right there I lay down, so if somebody comes from that direction, hopefully they'll run right over me, which would have been hilarious, but it doesn't happen. So you want to move very slowly if you do find yourself in those high traffic areas, which you will. At some point in the game, unless you're using a silencer or you're moving very quickly, people are going to start coming to you. They are going to start flooding towards you. So, you know, just be careful. A general rule of thumb is probably just stay located in that area. If you try to run away too quickly, you probably will get caught. At least get a couple kills, plant some claymores, and then slowly make your escape. That's my advice for that. A couple other tips that I've learned and started to implement even more doing this whole challenge is know your ammo. Get used to how much ammo is in your gun, how many bullets it takes to kill somebody. And I'm one of those players that if I shoot a single bullet out of my gun, I need to reload it. And that's probably not a good idea. I would definitely recommend to get out of that habit. Get comfortable using a smaller clip. Get comfortable running around with, half a clip, 3/4 of a clip. Obviously, don't be a dumbass and don't run in there with less bullets than it's going to take. But just get used to the fact that you're not going to be able to reload every time you want to, unless you have sleight of hand. But then I would be very impressed with you getting this nuke. I definitely think scavenger is the way to go. So know your ammo and get comfortable not reloading all the time and plan your reloads out. Definitely be hiding, be crouching down, something. Just do not reload in the open. You will get caught. Another thing is there will be close moments. I don't think I have any in this game, but there will be moments where you get shot in the back, where you get shot and you survive. You either hit the deck, you make it around the corner, whatever happens. Most players are pretty dumb when it comes to that, and they are going to chase you. They really want you to die, and since you got away, they're probably pissed off about that. So my best advice for that is when you're getting shot, if you do escape, immediately look at your radar. Look at where that red dot was coming from and figure out which direction they're going to be moving in from, and it's going to make it easier for you to get the kill. Most of the time I find, especially before going for the nuke, I would find that when I got shot from behind or from a side or wherever and I didn't really know, I would just go off of where I thought the bullets were coming from. Maybe it's just me, but I'm horribly inaccurate at predicting that, and I find I think I know where the bullets are coming from. I look in that direction and I got shot from somewhere else. It got really aggravating. So please look at your radar if you get shot and escape. Another big thing I can recommend, just as you get really into some tight gameplays and things like that, is position your body with your TV. So make sure that your body and your couch or whatever you're sitting on is facing and on the same kind of height, I guess you could call it, as the center of your television. It's just going to make it easier. Even on a subconscious level, you're going to feel more comfortable and more accurate killing other people. Another thing that can make you more accurate is I use the term ogre twitching. That's where I learned it in my Halo days. However, I don't know what you guys may call it. Essentially what it is moving the joysticks in semicircles or full circles just to get a feel for, the movements of the camera, your sensitivity, all those things. A lot of people just do it right when they get on. I recommend it. I don't think I did it in this game, but I recommend it almost any game, just to keep fresh, keep your hands moving, keep your eyes and your brain just sensitive to the movements of the game. I find it'll help a lot. Right now, I'm on my 24th kill streak, I do believe. Yes, I am. My biggest tip here is when you get close, even, for me the magic number was 16. Once I got to 16, I started really stressing out, tripping balls. Just stay calm. Stick to your game style. Play it safe. Do not go running out. A lot of times you'll get really anxious. You're on that 24th. You're like, if I just get this next guy, then this nuke is mine. I have multiple games where I was in the low 20s to 1 kill streak away where I rushed after a guy just because I wanted to kill, and I got caught for it. So do not do that. You have all the time in the world, and use it. So that's the end of the gameplay. Something I found interesting, I did finish second here because the guy had more kills than me, as I called in the nuke. So that's something I never knew up until this point. Normally when I get a nuke, I'm already have first place locked in. But so that's the gameplay. Final score 30-2. Thank you guys so much for watching. I put a lot of work into this video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment the video, and subscribe. And if you're not too busy, check out the Respawn Army. I'll be putting it up on there. It'd be great if you guys could give me some bumps on it. Thanks a lot, guys.